Hey y'all, I hope everyone's doing amazing. So I wanted to come on here and share some information that I've channeled. Now I will be reading what I've channeled because oftentimes I write whenever I'm channeling information, especially important information, because I don't know, that's just the way I operate. It comes so quickly and my pen just flows effortlessly. And I often don't even know what I've written until I'm done and I'm able to read it. So I'm just going to read to y'all everything that was channeled. This was channeled probably 3 to 4 months ago. And it was not yet time in those moments to share collectively. But I've been given the green light to now share this information because now the timelines are matching up to the information that I have channeled. It is going to resonate right now. It's going to align with the shifts taking place. It's going to be consciously understood and comprehended. So oftentimes I'm tuning into future timelines, and in a way channeling that information from future timelines helps to draw in and anchor those higher timelines that we as a collective are all contributing to. So that's just my own understanding and my own truth, which is not the ultimate truth. I'm just sharing a little bit about myself and how I use my gifts, how they operate, how I operate. Okay, and I have to read this all to you because it's a lot. There's no way I could remember every piece of this information without reading this notes, or I would miss important chunks that need to be shared. So right now, and it's perfectly timed. I had no idea when I was going to be able to share this, but with the hybrid solar eclipse coming up on the 20th, which is initiating the Aries and Libra axis eclipses that will be going on from now throughout 2025. It's just completely divine orchestration. There's no other way to explain it. And then we have the full moon lunar eclipse on May 5th. I mean, these are huge shifts and changes. Like, things are about to change and change rapidly. We've been doing so much inner work for the past several years, but this past year alone, speaking of 2022, was like super deep work, right? And I don't know if many of you have come to this awareness, or if you're able to feel this. Many of you that are very much in tune with yourself, your intuition, your inner being, and your sensitivity are able to feel this. There is a huge wave that has awakened a large group, a large collective group, and you would have felt this through the super anxious energies that took place this past week. I know there's a lot of solar flares and etc., but there's been a massive awakening within the collective, a brand new wave, babies that are brand new to awakening, if you want to put it that way. Those who were previously not so much so on the awakening journey or even aware of what many who have been going through this for quite some time are aware of, right? So this came up as like severe anxiety, panic attacks. If you went out and about, you would have picked up on major fear paranoia even. Because in the beginning of your awakening, that's what's happening when the Kundalini is activated and is surging up through the energy centers. It's clearing all that dense debris, all the fear, all the stagnancy, density. And that's why it's so important to understand, like, you being awakened and seeing your sensitivity as a superpower and a way of being of service, because you can greatly help the collective, especially those who are beginning to awake. You can help lighten the load because you are already pretty much stepping into mastery of transmuting dense energies in such a way where you won't get stuck or drown in darkness. You're able to quickly transmute density, darkness, fear into lighter, brighter, higher, loving frequencies, especially if you are self-aware to the point where you know what energies belong to you and what energies do not belong to you. Therefore, you're not carrying the weight of the world, absorbing it and not releasing it or doing anything with it. You know what to do, so you can help in this way, and you should, especially if you can handle it and not get pulled down in a way that's going to negatively impact you and put you 10 steps backwards, okay? So, I don't know why I'm sharing this, it's just coming up. I experienced it, I knew what was going on, and so it was very easy for me to allow myself to transmute that contrast of that drastic contrast in energies that I experienced this past week. It was a collective awakening, okay? So if you know someone who is waking up right now, make sure that, you're checking in on them. Don't overwhelm them, but let them know that you're there for them. And you can even send them love, peace, and comfort, but make sure that you are asking their soul, their higher self, for permission first before doing that, because it's still an invasion of someone's private, sacred space to send any kind of energies their way without permission. You need to ask for permission, okay? That's a part of walking through purity and integrity. All right. So all systems go right now, okay? This is a phase where we're going to be experiencing like onward and upward, moving forward and rising up. Many are crossing major important bridges into brand new timelines, okay? There is throat chakra activations and clearings, upgrades, crown chakra, solar plexus chakra, and root chakra. Heavy emphasis on the root chakra at this time. This is directly correlated to one's physical, material world and reality, meaning a person's sense of safety, security, groundedness, having that environment of thriving rather than surviving, okay, and truly feeling safe in one's body. Many people have been, their energy has been outside of their body for so long, it is extremely uncomfortable attempting to pull their energy back into their body fully grounded, because it has become somewhat foreign and it feels very unsafe. Because in a way, it's like the journey and process of learning what it means and mastering what it feels like to be a human being, okay? And it's not always the best time. So, major healings, clearings, and upgrades with the root chakra, okay? Now, this comes with fears too. So this is a massive purge of fears connected to safety, security, feeling confidently grounded in one's environment, and that goes for all environments an individual is connected to. Home, the people they're surrounded by, social environments, career environment, all of that. Also, finances. Okay, so there's been a beautiful balance of the inner masculine and feminine energies within, okay? And that is now pulling in materialized vibrational resonance as a reflected match. And what I mean by that is that steady, harmonious balance between the inner masculine and feminine has now begun to act as, I want to call it, a gravitational force, right? Pulling into orbit physical resonance of that inner attainment. Meaning, if you are in any kind of soulmate connection, twin flame connection, divine counterpart connection, whatever you want to refer to it as, higher soul level connections, that's pulling each one into each other's orbit easily and very quickly and harmoniously in a way where it doesn't feel uncomfortable. You're very much in sync, okay? As before, there wasn't that much comfort because a lot was being triggered, a lot needed to be released, and it was inevitable that your person's going to pull that out of you. Each time you cross paths physically, something that has not been dealt with or resolved is going to be brought to the surface, guaranteed. Maybe not in those moments you're together, but as soon as you walk away from that interaction and maybe like go back to your own home or whatever, that's when it begins to rise, okay? And that's a blessing in disguise, because you are truly serving one another in such a way where you're helping to set one another free from all that binds you, all that holds you down and keeps you shrinking and playing small. Okay, so the divine feminines have successfully dissolved those receiving blocks. Congratulations. Masculines have dissolved a tremendous amount of fear when it comes to aligning with their authenticity. So this looks like the masculines finally putting drawn out situations, whether that's relationships, careers, it doesn't matter what, it could be anything that they know that was not in alignment with their integrity or authenticity. Therefore, they were betraying themselves by engaging in something that was not true to who they are. They've walked away. And if they have not walked away, they are in the process of walking away. This chapter is now closed. So now, this beautiful shift is allowing them both, it has allowed the heart space to greatly expand and open up more, because it feels more safe now, because both are truly aligning with their soul's truth, listening to their soul and following the soul's whispers, okay? So they're mutually connecting through the heart space, and this is assisting with the alignment of the mind, body, and spirit, both individually and together as a dynamic. Okay, another major shift: freedom from family bloodline karma. So your genetic lineage, bloodline, lineage, whatever, karma that has been passed down probably hundreds of years, if not thousands, that has never been dealt with. Cycles, mentalities, habits, addictions, whatever that may be. You were the game changer. You were the one that was meant to break free from that karma and end it once and for all, so you could begin creating a new legacy within this specific bloodline, in this specific genetic lineage, okay? So one person has to be brave enough to break and end those cycles, or else it's going to continue on to the next and the next and the next generation, okay? So this is setting a better, brighter, and easier future for the children, which is so important, because the children right now are the future, and the children on this planet right now are very ancient and wise, gifted souls. So remember that when you are speaking to a child, listen, because they have a lot to teach you. Many people are under the understanding that we teach children, but I believe children are here to teach us. And if you truly allow yourself to get in that playful state, not only do they teach you how to come back to your own inner child and be playful and expand your mind in such a way where you're playing with the powers of your imagination like you once naturally did when you were a child, but the wisdom that they have, because they're so fresh and they're not programmed by society with limitations and garbage. They are so intuitive and energetically, psychically in tune. Pay attention to what they're saying, listen to them, and believe what they're saying. I mean, especially like if your child, for example, is with you and you're hanging out with people and they feel extremely uncomfortable, any person is making them uncomfortable, listen to your child, because your child is telling you that that person is not to be trusted, okay? They also are just naturally psychically in tune. They can see things that we have lost the ability to see. They can see into the unseen, meaning those that have passed on, loved ones that have passed over, they can see them. They can see other beings and entities that we've been stripped of that ability to see. Not everybody. Some people have unlocked their ability to see into the unseen in those ways, but not everybody. But children see that. And we saw things as children, and our parents said, no, that was nothing, blah, blah, blah. And eventually, after several times, you're going to believe, oh, I didn't see anything, that was my imagination. No, that's not imagination, so please don't tell that to any child. I didn't mean to make this about children, but it's important that we are protecting and looking after our children in these times, okay? Okay, so let me move on. So the masculine and the feminine right now are in the process of stabilizing the full embodiment of what it means to be a conscious dreamer and creator. through reclaiming their sovereignty and rewiring their brain, the programs that have been lodged within their subconscious that have kept them stuck in limitations and created obstacles, unhealthy patterns, beliefs that do not serve. This has also been through the process of the deep cellular and DNA repairs and upgrades we've been going through. That's why the body has needed so much rest, and there's been feelings of being tired. Your body needs rest to integrate these upgrades and these repairs within your cellular structures and memory banks, your DNA structures. Our DNA has been receiving brand new instructions. Our original genetic coding has been opened for some time and activated and receiving through intervals of time brand new sets of instructions that are of our multidimensional essence and nature, okay? And this is reaching a phase of fulfillment, harvest, if you want to say, where you've been under the understanding this is taking place, but now it's locked in and you know how to utilize it, and you know how to operate in brand new ways that are not just in service for your highest good, but the highest good of all. And so this has you walking, talking, and being in a brand new way, in a way that is much so what most would refer to as their higher self, which is, you are your higher self. Your higher self is a part of your multidimensionality. So you don't need to do anything to be your higher self. You just need to understand you already are your highest self and begin being your highest self. It's not separate from you. So there's been a major collapse of past fearful and suffering timelines. Okay? And this stems back hundreds and thousands of years, not just our own in this lifespan, but beyond. A large group is fully aligned with their soul's calling. I just got the truth chills. That's another thing. When you are doing the work and clearing, and you're on the right path, and your vibrational frequency is raising, and your vessel and channels are becoming pretty clear, you can feel that through those frequencies of those truth chills that feels like pure divine bliss. Like, the best way to describe it as God's truth. Like, that's what it feels like. It's so comforting. We have recollected so many soul fragments, which correlates to our multidimensional aspects of us that have been lingering in timelines we didn't realize we left pieces of ourselves behind in. Also, fragments of our consciousness, right? That could be lingering in timelines that were created etherically, as an etheric form, but never were anchored into materialization. So part of our consciousness has remained there because that's something we didn't make peace with, that wasn't able to be embodied and anchored through us as a physical experience reality. So right now, masculine and feminine are stabilizing union timelines through teamwork, okay? Co-creating together with consistency and commitment. okay? This is a mutual understanding, a unspoken understanding, a telepathic exchange and communication. Both are aware of this. Both are doing the same thing and agreeing and understanding and knowing what to do. They are in sync. So never question, never worry. Just do what you're being called to do. Major physical movement and progress forward is about to quickly take off. That's why many are being called to slow down and rest, because you're about to be very busy and things are about to be speeding up extremely fast. So you need that rest and preparation. Give it to yourself. We're in a phase of physical integration of the inner shifts that have already taken place. So the physical integration is where you begin to physically embody the emotional, mental, energetic changes and shifts, expansions you have stepped into. So now you're physically in alignment with those very things, meaning making choices to take actions that support those shifts rather than oppose those shifts. And this is exactly what is removing obstacles. I mean, huge obstacles many have been facing for years are seemingly dissolving overnight through one simple little choice, one simple baby action. Because they realize they don't need to wait for the perfect time. There will never be a better time. The time is now. There's been a complete collapse of the inverted runner and chaser timelines. That is an inverted template and timeline, a karmic loop that the false ascension matrix pulls the masculine and feminine into, okay? Don't believe anyone that tells you you need to go through the runner and chaser phase. That's not true. You want to break free from that. And how you do that is simply don't run and don't chase. You surrender. You just surrender. You surrender to non-action and you just rest in acceptance. That's how you end that cycle. So because these inverted timelines, templates, and karmic loops have been, I want to say, erased from most, power has been restored because confusion has dissipated. And now we're walking through the portals leading into complete paradigm shifts. This is in the phase of reaching completion, where you've been recognizing the paradigm shifting, but very soon you'll find yourself anchored there rather than just experiencing pieces of it here and there, which is a slow integration of that embodiment. You'll find yourself anchored there firmly and with confidence. This is also correlated, this paradigm shift, where the masculine is now choosing to put the feminine first. So those of you feminines who feel that your masculines always put you last and put everyone else and everything else first, that's going to shift, but only through and if you are willing to rest in receptivity. You must be receptive. That's the only way this is going to shift, with masculine putting feminine first, is through receptivity to that very experienced reality. I hope that makes sense. You have to be receptive to that and open to that for that to happen. If you're closed off if you're always focusing on, my masculine never puts me first. I'm not on his list of priorities. He puts everything and everyone else above me. You're closed off to him putting you first because you're so open to him not putting you first. So keep that in mind. That's like my saying. I need to put that on a t-shirt. Keep that in mind. I love saying that. I don't know. So we all have a direct link and contact to our oversoul at this time, which is a powerful space to be in. Okay? And through this direct link and contact, it's almost like there was this frequency net blocking that direct contact. It's dissolved, and so now there's a clear channel to the oversoul. We are almost every day walking into more and deeper remembrance of ancient wisdom and memories from lost lands as well as ancient eras. Our souls carry the imprints of this ancient wisdom, and it is full of such profound ancient wisdoms, modalities, etc., that it's hard to even comprehend in one lifespan just how much your knowledge, wisdom, and power the soul embodies. Because this is not your first rodeo, you know what I mean? And you're understanding, hey, I can do this because I've done this before. I know I have. So if I've done this before, certainly I can do it now. Diamond crystalline structures fully integrated into anchored embodiment. Okay, you might be noticing your skin looks kind of glittery, shiny, your hair. Many of you, when you are outside or inside, you can be inside, but this begins outside because the sun, the energy from the sun, the codes from the sun allow you to see this more clearly. And I believe this is just coming to me now. It opens up the ability to begin seeing this everywhere. Seeing this glittery, sparkly effect everywhere. Almost like pixels. I want to say, like, if your TV were to cut off and, oh my gosh, I don't watch TV anymore. It's almost like I've lost my memories of what certain things are called when it comes to some materialistic endeavors. But, static on a TV, sorry. That static, it almost looks like that, but like a bright, glittery form of static on a TV. That's what I'm trying to explain. Okay. So, cosmic wisdom and cosmic gifts are filtering into our conscious awareness at this time through our open crown chakras. And this is allowing this cosmic wisdom and cosmic gifts to be activated and unlocked within our DNA structures and cellular memory banks. And so many of you are discovering gifts you didn't realize you possessed. And these very gifts are gifts you've already mastered in another era, another age, another timeline past. So it's not new, you're just remembering. And so if you're guided to begin using these gifts, you need to do so because you've done this before. You know how. You don't need to think too hard about it because it's going to come naturally. When you allow the analytical mind to get in the way, you block the pure magic that you possess. We're also receiving and transmitting information on a conscious level. This is through telepathy. This is quantum entanglement. So we communicate through everything we're entangled with, including our environment, right? The connections we have. You could be across the world, it doesn't matter. We're constantly sending and receiving information at a quantum level. Okay? When you're entangled with another, no matter the distance, one change in you will impact the other. One change in the other is going to impact you. And that's the art of receiving and transmitting and receiving. We're also receiving downloads, activations, and major assistance from Andromeda Galaxy. Now, I know there's this huge thing about Andromeda Galaxy and the Milky Way Galaxy destined to merge in like millions of years. And before I was even able to find what I'm about to share on the internet, I was under the understanding from my own guidance and downloads, or remembrance, I want to call it, that Andromeda and the Milky Way galaxies were once one large galaxy, and something caused that wholesome of both galaxies being one to split apart. And that's why it seems to be that Andromeda is kind of chasing the Milky Way galaxy, because there's some need for the two galaxies to merge back together. And I've been sitting on this information for probably a year. A part of me didn't want to share it because I was like, people are going to call me nuts. But now I really don't care what people think. And I know I'm meant to share things that I've been sitting on. So get ready to walk straight into my out of this world knowledge, okay? Because I'm ready to release it. Like, I literally have 12 notebooks full of stuff I've never shared with anybody. And it's like, I must share it. Or else, what am I doing? I didn't receive that information to just store it away. That's kind of like abusing gifts in a way by not sharing it. And I understand that now. Anyways, there's also a lot of grid work taking place. Some of you are aware you're grid workers, some are not. Now, this takes place through ley lines, especially intersection. Now, there's ley lines and then there's intersections where two ley lines are crossing. Those are referred to as Emperor Dragon ley lines, I believe. I actually have that in my backyard. So things are being activated and shifted through you, through simply traveling to specific locations. And you might not be consciously aware of this, but you are activating these ley lines in these locations, and you're simultaneously accessing ancient wisdom those ley lines hold. So, like, it's just all around powerful. So if you can begin working consciously doing this, imagine the expansion you would step into. Imagine the difference you could truly make. Alright, now let me move on. I don't even know how long this is. I try to make things short and then 2 hours go by. So, if you've stuck around this long, thank you. I appreciate you. And it's because you need to hear everything I'm going to say. It's going to benefit you in some shape or form. And if this doesn't make sense to you at first, it's okay, because it's activating through your subconscious this information you already have been carrying, and that will begin to filter into your conscious awareness little by little into greater understanding. So there's a need for absorbing light codes from the sun directly into your third eye, so it can begin to filter throughout your body and ground into the earth. That's important. Individual frequency resonances have been fully activated and stabilized, allowing an upsurge in vibrational frequency, major increase in your vibrational resonance and frequency. And you know, this happens first through letting go of the muck. So fear and density must be released some way from your body for these higher frequencies to have room to enter. That's why it's important to rid yourself of fear and density in order to anchor in love and higher frequencies of bliss. Clear knowing, clear sight has reached drastic higher levels of expansion, which has dissolved interferences of static frequencies, which is making way for crystalline, clear thinking, knowing, seeing, and visions. So overall, crystal clarity. Your vessel is becoming extremely clear. Correct sound field blueprints have now been successfully stabilized into permanent structures. They were very much inverted previously through these interferences and disturbances that are now dissolved thanks to our invisible helpers assisting us to clear out these pests. So this is allowing massive purifications, clearings, renewals, and openings within communication channels, lines, fields, and bodies. We have a direct link to God and angelic realms. We have opened and activated protective armors, shields, and layers of platinum light. Okay, platinum light is a powerful energy to work with. If you're ever feeling energetically depleted, disturbed, attacked, etc., call forth the pureness of platinum light. Allow it to shower down upon you, through you, to cleanse you, and then shield you with platinum light protection, okay? Okay, so this has integrated the merge of the divine masculine and divine feminine, father and mother arcs, and communication systems to equalize and unify into one whole. Trinity creation codes locked into quantum field structures are granting full access to archives and data banks that have been stored and scattered within the quantum field previously out of reach, resulting in complete collapsing and dissolving of artificial timeline loops, consciousness traps. So now original timelines are being recovered that were previously hijacked. The transformation of our inner quantum matrix has completed, which is closing artificial and false structure portals, collapsing parallel realities and timelines, reconstructing new evolutionary timeline structures into the quantum field, firmly anchored into harmonic, stabilized resonance, pulsing out new and steady signals that are multiplied and magnified with potency. So the momentum continues to get larger and greater and bigger until suddenly nothing can penetrate it. You are unstoppable in that signal you've been sending out. You are that signal now. The sound of the voice is going through a restructuring where you'll begin emitting potent vibrational sound frequency waves. Okay? This is governing sovereign freedom and authority over matter. So speaking to the atmosphere will prove to be extremely powerful. Speaking in general will begin to take on deeper meaning and purpose. So that being said, you will be extremely mindful of what words you are using and speaking to yourself out loud and to others, because things will begin to instantaneously orbit into your reality upon what sound waves you're sending out. Any word spoken is a sound wave, and when you send out a sound wave, it automatically begins creating an electromagnetic field of whatever vibrational resonance that sound wave is resonating at. So words spoken create vibrations that shape shift physical reality. Remember that. Twin flame counterpart fusion has been achieved. Outer masculine and feminine now able to access original blueprints encoding to anchor in union timelines. All obstacles, interferences, blockages have been removed with assistance of the higher angelic realms. New vibrational structures centered within multidimensional union, consistently recorded and reprinted into dominant, coherent resonance throughout the quantum field. Steady resonance has finally been achieved. Nothing can interrupt, interfere, scatter, penetrate, or disrupt this signal that is now pulsing with divine sacred union creation codes. And this is with the help of the diamond light. Our diamond-like crystalline structures cannot be effed with, okay? Humans often feel so weak and powerless, yet all beings see humans as, from my understanding, one of the most powerful beings in the universe, because we have the ability to manifest things into physical form through our thoughts and emotional charges. Our emotions are the most interest to other beings that they see of as the ultimate power, because our emotions can instantly manifest things into form and anchor them there, whereas other dimensions and beings need certain technologies and stuff in order to manifest things. And oftentimes those structures dissipate when they're not in that area of whatever they created. So they'll have to use whatever technologies, and I'm not speaking of actual technology like phones, but whatever technologies they're using, systems they're using to create, they'll have to redo it. Whereas when we leave our house does not disintegrate, because we have a knowing that when we come back, our house is going to be there. So that's exactly why our house is there. Because manifestation of form happens through knowing. Knowing is believing without a doubt. So when you walk to your bathroom to take a shower, you have full confidence that you can take a shower, and your shower is there for you to get into and turn on the water. And because of that, your shower is there, and that's the only reason why it's there. Because you have that full knowing. So that being said, when it comes to manifestation, you must come from a space of knowing and not guessing. Guessing is not knowing. Guessing is sending out mixed signals. So if you were to go down the road, taking a left on Main Street, right? In order to go to the grocery store that's on Main Street, right? You know that grocery store is on Main Street, so you're going to drive yourself there because you know it's there. Therefore, it's there. But on the opposite spectrum, if you're going to Main Street and you're not sure if there's a grocery store there or not, there's probably not going to be one there because you are not in knowing that there is going to be a grocery store there for you to shop at. That's literally how other dimensions understand the power of humans. That's how, from a higher perspective, they're able to observe that's what it is we're doing, and most of us have no clue that we're doing that. And you know, I'm not saying that's the ultimate truth. I believe that, I understand that, because anytime I know something is going to happen for me, I know something's going to be somewhere, I know something's going to show up, it happens 200% every single time. But if I am not sure and I am second guessing, not knowing, therefore there is no steady signal. There is like multiple things that could be experienced, and most likely it won't be the manifestation that I was maybe kind of guessing could possibly be there. Now the power of knowing it's going to be there makes it certain it's there. It's all about that belief in knowing, okay? Literally, it holds the power over all, everything. So that being said, I'm going to end this on the note asking you the question: are you operating from a space of knowing, or are you simply guessing? Maybe, I don't know, possibly. The choice is yours.